Hare Krishna, it is Padma Lochan here, coming from the beautiful New Govardhan Dam here in Australia, and today's PowerPoint presentation is on a very important aspect when it comes to practicing Krishna consciousness, advancing along the path of Bhakti Yoga, and that is enthusiasm. So the importance of enthusiasm within Krishna consciousness. So what is enthusiasm in Sanskrit? We all know it to be utsaha. So enthusiasm, like I said, such a potent part of this process of Bhakti Yoga. And in the dictionary it states that enthusiasm is a state of intense enjoyment, interest or approval regarding a subject, activity, or a cause. Then we will look at what Prabhupada had to say when it came to enthusiasm. Prabhupada stated that one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Enthusiasm means action, but action for whom? The answer is that one should always act for Krishna. One must be very much enthusiastic that in this life, in this human form of life, I must complete my spiritual consciousness or God consciousness, so that in the next life I may not have this material body. I must, so we'll repeat that, I must surrender to Krishna. Although my mind is going outside, I must be determined that I must surrender. This is enthusiasm. How much do we really desire Krishna, Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna Prem? This is a real motivator for our enthusiasm. So, Mahanidhi Swami, a great Vaishnava, he put it this way: all devotional expressions, be they japa, harinam, sankirtan, preaching, studying, serving Guru, cooking for Sri Krishna, or any other seva, should be done with enthusiasm. And here we have it right here. Enthusiasm and joy is the key to bhava and pram. So that's the words of Mahanidhi Swami, a great devotee who resides in the beautiful and most exalted Radha Kund. Then the question may arise, Padma, how do we inspire enthusiasm? It's a great question. So, like I said at the start of this PowerPoint, utsaha, it means enthusiasm. And in this human form of life, we always have to be in that consciousness. I must complete my God consciousness. So in the next life, I'm not going to have this material body. That's called enthusiasm. But we get entangled within this material world. There's so many coverings. There's so many disturbances. There's so many bright, shiny objects that pull us away from this ultimate goal of life. And we have to be very careful, like I said in yesterday's presentation, that we don't get caught in the www, the World Wide Web. This web, it's very large, it's very enticing, and so many who have this human form of life get entangled within this web. And once entangled, it's very, very difficult to practice spiritual life. It's very, very difficult to be enthusiastic. So as I was saying, being enthusiastic, we should just be like the man. You know, we see so many people out in the world, they're so enthusiastic to make millions and millions of dollars. They work very hard day in and day out, and in a Bhagavatam class recently, I was talking about David Goggins. He's a long-distance runner, an ex-Navy SEAL, and I often say if I had that enthusiasm, what he had for his running, for his adventures, we would really excel in our Krishna consciousness. But it really just comes down to how serious we are, how enthusiastic we are to push forward in this life. We've got a great opportunity here. It's very, very difficult to attain this human birth. There's 8,400,000 life forms within this universe, and we've got a human form which is ideal to practice spiritual life, to attain the ultimate goal, to reawaken our relationship with Krishna. And by remembering this and striving for this and really making this your life's goal, it's very difficult not to be enthusiastic. We don't want to come back to this material world. Next up, this is an option for us if we're not taking our spiritual life seriously. This is kind of putting the fire underneath someone, you know. They may be struggling to practice in spiritual life or having some troubles, but if we just focus on what we get out of practicing Krishna consciousness, Krishna loves us so much. It's described within the Bhagavatamrita that Krishna is waiting for us many, many lifetimes. He doesn't leave our side. He witnesses us, experience, very difficult times, endure storms, hardship, and so forth. And he's also there to witness when we have great prestige and wealth and all of that. But he just never leaves our side. He's always there. And then this one life, we begin to notice Krishna. We begin to turn to Krishna. And he's there, ready for us to take our hand. So like I was saying, we've got such a great opportunity. But if we can't find that inspiration, that enthusiasm, that determination in this life to push forward in Krishna consciousness and really take shelter of Krishna. It's stated within the Bhagavad Gita, Daivi he sha guna maya, this material energy of mine consisting of the three modes of material nature. It's very difficult to overcome, but one who surrenders onto me can easily cross beyond it. So we have to work day in and day out surrendering onto Krishna. And if we keep those previous slides in our mind, that we've got a great opportunity to get a spiritual body, to become a servant of Krishna, to reside within Goloka Vrindavan, that can really create a fire within us to be enthusiastic within our spiritual life. And as Prabhupada said, if we don't take this human form seriously, if we just take it as one big joke and just do whatever we want, and we live like animals, and many people do within this material world. People may laugh at that, but at the end of the day, many people do have animal consciousness. So we've got to be very mindful that we take this birth very seriously. And we do that by being enthusiastic within Krishna consciousness, which puts us in the best possible position to attain the ultimate goal in this life. So Srila Prabhupada, he taught that enthusiasm, utsaha, is the primary engine of spiritual progress. He emphasized that enthusiasm is not a temporary emotion, but a deliberate choice and practice. So we may see devotees who we may know or around the world, they're always so enthusiastic, they're so fortunate. And yes, one who's practicing Krishna consciousness, that's definitely going to be a byproduct. But to get there, they've got to be enthusiastic. And some days we may not feel enthusiastic, determined, motivated, but we just keep showing up. We keep doing our best. Very important point within this Vaishnava movement to show up and do our very best each and every day. Make a choice. I'm going to be enthusiastic. You wake up every day. I'm going to be enthusiastic within my spiritual life. And if you wake up within that mindset each and every day, you're going to put yourself in a very good position moving forward within your spiritual life, within your Krishna conscious life, upon the path that you're walking, this bhakti yoga path. So what can I do to embody enthusiasm? One thing that I've done within my spiritual life, and I know many of my mentors have done, is take great inspiration from the ones who have walked before us. When I first come to Krishna consciousness, over 10 years now, I took great inspiration from Jayananda Thakur. He was a Srila Prabhupada disciple, one of the very first initiates within this ISKCON movement. Was a real leader back in the day. He was one who pushed the Rath Yatra, one of the first Rath Yatras in America. Had a very good attitude, a very humble attitude, and was a great follower of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Srila Prabhupada. We can take inspiration from his service attitude, how he dealt with devotees. He was always happy, he was always joyful. We can take inspiration from such Vaishnavas such as Ayendra Prabhu, who just absolutely dedicated every moment of his life chanting the glories of Krishna, serving Krishna so nicely within the holy Dham of Vrindavan. His life, you can read his life now, a book has come out. We can find great inspiration within his life. And there's so many others we can read about, great Vaishnavas. There may be great Vaishnavas which live with you, next door to you. We can look at them and we can become fired up, we can become inspired, determined, more motivated by these great Vaishnavas that have walked before us or even walk among us right now. So we should always be eager to take inspiration from these great devotees around us each and every day, and that really makes one enthusiastic upon their spiritual path. So like I was saying in a couple slides ago, the best thing we can do within our spiritual life is show up the best we can, of the best you can. And that's all we can do at the end of the day, just keep showing up. I've seen so many devotees in the past, they may encounter difficulties and hardships and they may pull back a little bit. They may stop practicing, doing the basics, and it's very difficult to get those wheels in motion again. So we have to make it a very important aspect of our life. We have to put it at the forefront. We have to meditate on this, that I am going to show up on a regular basis in my Krishna consciousness. And by doing so, we should understand that we're going to put ourselves in a very beneficial position to move forward along this path. So we have to get the basics down. We can't hurdle, we can't, go from point A to point Z just like that. We have to get the basics down. So what are the basics? We have to be chanting. We have to be chanting each and every day. This is a process for this age. It's stated all throughout our scripture, the revealed scripture, the potency of this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It purifies the living entities. As stated, the rain cloud comes above, and then the rain falls out of the rain cloud and it lands on the dirt, and it's now been contaminated, it's turned to mud. But if you were to purify that mud, it would return back to its natural transparent state. So that's like us here within the material world. We've been contaminated by this material energy, and we must purify ourselves to return back to our natural transparent state. We have to awaken that state within us, and the most effective way to do that in this age, which is called the age of Kali, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada stated if we feel lethargic and we chant, we'll feel an immediate surge of energy. So this is a really important one. The next one, following the 4 regulative principles. Many may want to jump to the Raganuga platform, straight to spontaneous devotional service, but first we must become strong in following the rules and regulations. So it's very important, if you live near a temple, at a temple, attend Mangalarti, get up early, before 4 a.m, chanting at least 16 rounds a day. More rounds the better. This is the purifying process for this age. Krishna and his name are no different. This is also described within the revealed scriptures. If you want to build your relationship with Krishna, reawaken that relationship, chanting is the best for this age. And the more we chant, the more enthusiastic we become for more chanting. So we see here, by following these processes, the more we do it, the more enthusiastic we do it. Some days we may not want to do these processes, but if we just keep doing it, even on the days we don't feel like doing it, we're going to reap the rewards. We're going to feel more enthusiastic, more motivated, more determined, more joyful, more happy, more loving, more ecstatic. And this is the soul's natural state. But due to this covering over, which I was just talking about before, this contamination, we've forgotten that, we've lost that. Reading the scriptures, we must study the scriptures, such as the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam, called the spotless Purana, just by hearing the Bhagavatam once again, very purifying to the individual. Hearing that awakens that natural state within them, that love of God, that desire to serve Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So every day, we may not be close to a temple to attend in person, but these days we can listen to so many lectures online. Whenever you're not around others and you've got a chance to listen to a lecture, a Bhagavatam class, a Bhagavad Gita class, a lecture, any subject upon Krishna consciousness, we should take advantage of that. We want to be filling our ears of all things Krishna consciousness. By hearing more and more and more, we become more inspired, more enthusiastic. I'm very fortunate. I've got a job, I work for myself, and I'm very fortunate I can listen for about 7 hours a day. So Krishna's mercy, I get to listen a lot, and I find it very, very beneficial. So associating with devotees, another such an important aspect. Find if you may be feeling down, you spend some time with a joyful devotee and all of a sudden you're feeling joyful too. It's very contagious to be around enthusiastic people. Hunt out those enthusiastic devotees and it's going to rub off on you for sure. So we want to dovetail our talents and our services. So our natural tendencies, there's so many activities, jobs, what need to be done to spread this Krishna consciousness movement around the world. Really meditate on what you can bring forth and do that to the best of your possibility. Because if you're doing something you really love, you might be a cook, a writer, you might be into performing arts, you might be into giving class, you might be into farming, you might be into working with the cows, being a manager, whatever it is. We need it all within ISKCON. So really fine tune that. What can you really bring forth to ISKCON and really help spread Lord Chaitanya's movement all over the world? Because I'm telling you right now, if you're going to be doing something you really love, if you're situated correctly, it's going to be much easier for you to be enthusiastic within spiritual life. We have to do the needful, but make sure you're situated correctly when it comes to the service that you're performing to spread Lord Chaitanya's movement all around the world. Another great process for increasing one's enthusiasm is preaching, to share. It feels great to share. There's so many living entities who are suffering out there. The world is a very harsh place. It's very difficult for many people. And I say this often, like I live in Australia, and the leading cause of death for men from 18 to 35 is suicide. That really shows that so many are really struggling out there within this material world, and they're looking for something. As George Harrison said, everyone's looking for love, but they're just looking in the wrong direction. Some look for it in the form of a needle, heroin. Some look for it in the form of relations with the opposite sex, within money. But is that really going to fulfill that individual? True fulfillment comes from fulfillment of the soul. We are not this body. We are a spirit soul, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Dihino shmin yata dihi. So if we just attend to those bodily needs but not the soul, it's going to be absolutely disastrous. So we have to attend to the soul. And the more we attend to the soul, the more enthusiastic we become. Another really important aspect, I was listening to this in a very recent class Maha Nidhi Swami gave, once again from his home in Radhakund. We must be patient in Krishna consciousness. Patience is key. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to be a few days, bang, I'm there. It's about doing the hard work. It's about showing up. It's about doing things maybe you don't want to do, that are difficult, that are going to shake you up a little bit, rattle you up a little bit. But this is the process. If you want to walk this path of Krishna consciousness, there's going to be days where you're going to feel like that. But we just have to be patient and understand that by walking this path, we're reawakening our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. We are eternal servants of Krishna, and we forgot. And there's so many disturbances. We're caught in that world wide web. But just through patience, confidence, and this enthusiasm, we can get closer to attaining the ultimate goal, which is complete love for Krishna, dedicating one's life, every moment, every word, every deed to Krishna. Then the last point, we can just, how can I bring more enthusiasm into my life today? You might go to a kirtan, you might normally stand, dance a little bit, do the Swami step, put your hands in the air, chant deeper within the heart, really deep prayers when you're offering obeisances. When you read, you can read something which excites you, and you can go and share it with a friend. So just bring in as much enthusiasm into the small processes within your day. And if you struggle, some may read all that and think, oh, I'm struggling, Padma. That's okay. Just put yourself within the fire of Krishna consciousness. If you're struggling, just find someone who can bring great joy to your life. Go to a program which you think is going to be very uplifting. But within this Krishna conscious movement, Lord Chaitanya's movement, which is forever spreading all around the world, there's so many ecstatic people, situations, events we can throw ourselves into. And we should always be eager to throw ourselves into these situations. We may just be, a small little spark, but if we throw ourselves into the blaze, we will eventually become ablaze with ecstatic love for Krishna. It's only a matter of time if we follow this process. Only a matter of time. Krishna is the perfection of life. We forget this. If we just remember this, it's very difficult not to be enthusiastic along this path of Bhakti Yoga. Krishna is our best friend. Krishna has always been there for us. We've lived hundreds of millions of lives. Krishna's never turned his back on us. He's always eager for us to come to him. And whenever we're feeling down, whenever we're not feeling very enthusiastic, we just have to meditate on this. The love Krishna has for us. This is who we really are. We're here within this material world. This isn't where we really belong. We belong in the spiritual world known as Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna's performing so many amazing, beautiful pastimes there with his cow herd boyfriends, the gopis, his maid servants. All the residents of Golok are just eager to get a glance of Krishna, to serve Krishna. What can I do for Krishna today? And we can attain that in this life. We don't have to be there. We can be fully engaged 24/7 in Krishna's service, completely enthusiastic. There's not much out there. We may think that this material world has something to offer us. But we've been around this block many, many times. We may get glimpses. We may believe the lie we tell ourselves that, I'm going to get some kind of happiness within this world. But real happiness is serving Krishna and sharing Krishna with others and seeing Krishna within everyone else. So we should meditate on that. For those who struggle to be enthusiastic or to maintain enthusiasm within their spiritual life, just always meditate on this, that Krishna is the perfection of life. And I may be having a bad day, but Krishna's with me. I'm so fortunate that I get to chant his holy names. I'm so fortunate that I get to hear about his name, form, qualities, and pastimes. I'm so fortunate that I get to spend time with his amazing devotees. I'm so fortunate that I get to look at his beautiful, stunning deity form. I'm so fortunate to Srila Prabhupada for opening up all these holy dhams to me, which completely brings Krishna consciousness alive. Mayapur Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, Vrindavan Dham. These places are just buzzing with Krishna consciousness. So there's so many opportunities out there for us to become more enthusiastic within spiritual life. Don't believe what the material world has to offer you. Have full faith in what Krishna has to offer you, and your life will never be the same. So that's wrapping up today's PowerPoint presentation on enthusiasm, Utsaha. So we need this to push forward in our spiritual life. As Mahanidhi Swami said in that quote I showed earlier, it's so important. If we want to experience Bhav and Prem, it all comes from our joy and enthusiasm within our own Krishna consciousness. If we're struggling, put ourselves within the fire. There's devotees around us, programs around us. Put ourselves in the fire. And we must take the process seriously. If you're not going to take it seriously, you're not going to feel good about it. Chant as much as possible. Read as much as possible. and the results will come. As I said, Krishna is the perfection of this life. Just to chant his name, we're so fortunate. So, let's all encourage each other to push forward on this path of Krishna consciousness and help as many people as possible. As I said, there's so many individuals out there who are struggling right now, and this is the solution. The chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Krishna's always there. He's got his hand out waiting for us. So Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.